I am live. Look at that. I do not know how I did this actually, because I used to have to use live, like Wirecast to do this. I don't even know if I'm on Wirecast. Let me see. We are going to not save that. We are using just YouTube to do this. Um, so I guess this is my first live chat. I'll wait until somebody gets on. We're doing all kinds of stuff. I have some of my collection out, and that's actually my mom's house that she's working on. My mom builds miniature houses. I do have some videos on that. My mom's video small houses. She makes the little house in the prairie houses. This one behind me is the Olsen's house. I don't know if y'all ever watched that TV show, but that was also a show that, along the lines of Little House in the Prairie. In my thumbnail, you saw this beautiful knife. Look at that gorgeous one. Isn't that beautiful? All right. So today we're going to be talking about pocket knives that have been messed with. Pocket knives that are not the original knife. So this is a Fightin' Rooster. This knife right here is a Fightin' Rooster. And as you can see, it has beautiful stag handles. Just gorgeous. Look at that. You have probably never seen a more beautiful knife than that. And a knife like this, you can take a custom knife that people pay like $400 for. Check that out. That's a $400 knife, right? So you guys can imagine this, right? All right. And then this is a Fightin' Rooster that I purchased on the internet for about $40, maybe $30. I can't remember. But it had celluloid handles. Celluloid looks something like this. Okay. And celluloid is a man-made material. It's plastic, and it was known to degas. And so what's degassing? Degassing is where, for absolutely no reason, this piece of plastic decides to deteriorate and give off gases, which can influence your knives. So it will rust them. So you will go to open up your knife roll or your box, which you have all your wonderful knives in, and you'll find out that 3 of them or anything touching this knife is corroded, right? So it has like a black haze on it. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at something like this, thanks for the thumbs up, by the way. If you look at something like this is a beautiful knife, right? I mean, you're like, man, this is a Fightin' Rooster. Let's take a look at this knife. It's absolutely beautiful. Look at this. Yeah, you get your etching on there. Look at that etching. It's so pretty. It's never been used. Woo! Beautiful, right? So if I put this on eBay, what could I sell this for? This is I could look up the Tang stamp. It's probably about 80 years, might even be 80 years old. Could be a real old one. Look at the blade on this. Look at the blade on that. Okay. Now, this particular knife has been messed with. This particular knife, I picked out these scales. This was actually a piece of antler, all right, that I found. And as you can tell, it's a really nice piece, right? And I sent this in to a young man that actually makes knives. And he took that old celluloid off and he cleaned up all the corrosion, right? And he put on what I picked. And he put scales on it that I wanted. This is like a $300 knife now, right? Or you could be dishonest and put it on eBay and say, very rare, Fightin' Rooster stag handles, right? And you don't see very many of these, right? They did make them, but there's not very many around because they're old. People have used them, and this one just happens to be laying around. So you guys want to be really careful. So you want to examine the type of stag that was utilized by that particular company. So if you see something like this, you can kind of say to yourself, I wonder. Now, the individual that worked on this knife, he's really cool. He actually, if you look down inside the knife, on the stainless steel liners, all right, right about there. Woo, look at these cameras these days. You can see his initials. And so he signed it, okay? So he's not hiding anything. He's not trying to be dishonest. He signed it. He basically, hey, the knife's been taken apart. How does someone initials get in there? That's the individual that did this, okay? And that's because that individual, he's a knife collector. He does not want to add to the issue, but hey, you can still work on your knives. But because there's a real problem with counterfeit knives. Counterfeit knives that have been taken apart. I would venture to say that this one was taken apart at one time. It's an old case XX. But I would have to really do some research on this. This knife just doesn't seem right to me. There's something wrong with it. Just doesn't feel right. Sorry about shaking that. That doesn't feel right. Now, some knives, they feel right. They feel right, and they don't have any tang stamp at all. Now what do you do? What do we do at this point? Well, with experience and a little bit of investigation, you can find out that maybe this was made by a company called Queen. Okay, so this reminds me of a Queen knife. Smells like a Queen knife. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. When you have this many knives, you'd be amazed. What you hand something to somebody, and you'd be amazed. Now they usually did all their knives in Winterbottom bone. Winterbottom bone looks like. Good example. Like that. Okay, that's really common. Look at that. Okay, it really rings a bell, don't it? I'm thinking that this was made in the Queen factory at one time. Possibly a lunchbox knife, possibly something was made by one of the individuals there. It looks pretty clean. So you might have a really special knife here. And fit and finish wise, this knife is, I'd put it up against this old Robeson. This is a 1 of 35 Robeson. I think those are olive handles. That's my guess, but I could be completely wrong. I don't know. But I'd put it against that any day. And these Robesons, they sell for, they're pretty pricey. They're pretty pricey. Real nice knife that just, kind of cool. Hey, if you guys want to chat, I want to practice the chat thing. Let me see. Top chat thing. Let's see. Top chat. Some messages such as potential spam may not be visible. Live chat. All messages are visible. Okay. New hold potential inappropriate messages for view. Chat messages will be flagged. I'm going to turn that sucker on. So guys, keep it clean, please. And yeah, Google does have a way of taking care of potential problems these days. So if you guys have a question about anything I got a lot of things back here. And I might show you. You know what? I'm going to show you a $20 knife that is just going to blow you away. It's going to blow you away. I guarantee it's got a better blade than the knife that you have in your pocket right now. Guarantee it. It's going to be, well, usable at one point. Just, it's going to blow you away. So I'm telling you. All right, so we're going to put this back right quick. That's a Queen knife. I used to sell a lot of those. I do have tons of those left. They're coming. They're coming, guys. We've got so many knives coming. Once my house is done, the knife room will be built. I have a 400 square foot knife room that's being built. This is where I'll be doing a lot of my videos, a lot of my studying and running my company out of. So we'll see what goes on with that. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. All right, so we'll say hello. All right, There you go. We're going to close up this Fighting Rooster that I was showing you guys. And we are going to go, and this is an old case that we don't think is a case knife. See how bouncy that is? And it's just not right. You know, this might have been a rejected knife. So they might have been halfway through the process. I don't know. Even though those scales don't look right, nothing looks right about it. But it's a knife that I want to investigate. Always want to investigate. And then when you find out that it's a good knife, hey, then you got to prove it. Then you got to get emails backing it up. You got to talk to the company. Maybe talk to the individual that made this. Which, if you've ever been to Great Eastern Cutlery Company, if you've ever been up to Pennsylvania to the different knife factories that we do have, you will see that people there, they're really approachable. You can go into these companies, they're artists. These are artists that make beautiful knives, and they're more than willing to share how they do it. When you go to Case Knife Factory, they have tours. You can go there and take a look at all their knives, how they make them. They even let you build a knife. And this is part of the Millennial Edition, right? So about 1,000 of these were made in 1999. And then what was the other year? Yep, 2000, another 1,000 were made. Great knife, great knife. My favorite, though, my personal favorite of the Tony Bose series, you guys want to guess? This Dogleg Jack. This Dogleg Jack is probably one of the most beautiful knives that that you could probably pick up. So, do you sell knives? I do sell knives, but currently I'm not in sales currently. Right now I'm building a house. If you guys follow my channel, I'm building a house for my family. It kind of looks like that. And it's a lot of work. Also, I have maybe some TV opportunities that I'm working on right now. So I'm talking knives mostly. Now, within the year, I probably will be selling knives, and I'll be helping people set up their collections once again. Yeah, because the worst thing about collecting knives is when you have a bunch of knives that don't make you feel good. I'll give you an example of that if you like, because this knife cost me $100, and this knife cost me $100. When I look at this knife, I want to wrap it. I want to put it in my little, oh, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And if I choose to pick this knife to put in my pocket and start to use, I'm a privileged person. I am just an individual, you know. It does this. Let's go. Matthew Burns says, every time I take a shit in the toilet, I do a wank afterwards. So I wanted to see if that would show. I have the choice of showing these messages or not showing them. So I decided to, hey, let's see what Matthew has to say. So thank you for that comment, Matthew Burns. So that's that right there. Like that. Look at that swedge right there. It's beautiful. Real nice knife. So that's, and it doesn't wiggle. It's tight. It's just a gorgeous knife. Everything about it, right? It's beautiful. It's a good investment piece. It's a good piece where, you know, if I didn't want it, I bought it for $100. I could probably sell it for more than $100. So I make money, right? Right. But we're not here to make money, okay? Because we're making money. We got a business going. No, what we're doing is we trade and we acquire. All right. And so that way, when you look at your collection, you're not putting your family, you know, sacrificing maybe your daughter's college fund or something because you can't control your eBay habit. Okay. So the idea is to listen to folks like me that maybe have a good collection that they've acquired. Ask some advice, send an email. All right. I'll be more than happy to help you guys out. Because if you make a mistake, which I make tons of them, because when I buy a lot of knives, some knives just don't make me feel good. Yeah, this is a Greenbone case knife, about a $300 knife. I didn't pay that much. But I could have real easy on eBay if I didn't pay attention. You know, it's kind of tight, kind of is. Yeah, it looks like a lot of the blade is left, which a lot of the blade is left. It really is. But when you compare it to a normal hawkbill, it's like half gone. So if you see it from a distance, you might just buy it, and then when you get it home, and you're like, you know what, this really isn't a good example of a case knife. This doesn't make me feel good. Like if somebody says, "Hey, what does an old case knife look like?" Oh, it looks like this. I don't want that to represent my case knives. I would rather make a better selection, right? Maybe pay a little bit more, right? A little bit more, really, seriously, because these are money makers, all right? That's people for people that sell knives. This right here is a money maker, all right? Because it's so tore up, you know. You probably found it in a cigar box, something like this. Are you kidding me? The Case XX Red Bone Hawkbill. This thing is just freaking gorgeous. So Larry says, what brands of knife do you like the most? All right, are you interested in tactical or are you interested more in the traditional? The traditional knives, I love old case knives. Anything from the 70s and pre-70s. Okay, so what's pre-70s? Pre-70s would be something like this. It'll say Case XX. And that's all it will say, okay? Case XX. These are the most affordable kick-ass knives, older knives, all right? You can find them on eBay. But again, I would find someone like myself or another collector that has a reputation of acquiring good knives and selling them to you. So for instance, you're not going to get an incredible bargain. You're not going to get this knife from me for $50, all right? All right, but if, let's say the going price for a knife like this on eBay is $300, I could probably get you this knife for $200, if not $250, right? To make you happy. And then it's going to snap like a bear trap. It's going to make you feel good. It's going to be something that, you know what? Boy, that's a good knife. I'm never selling it. When you get a good knife, you don't sell it. I'm telling you, I have never sold a good knife. Because when a knife is 100 years old and it's a good knife, like it really is a good knife, you don't sell it. You don't feel like selling it. Because every day it goes up in value. I mean, why would you do that? There's never going to be another knife like this, unless it's a fake. And people can tell if they're fakes, especially when they're paying this much money. I can. A knife like this, it just doesn't make you feel good. You're wasting your money. You're not acquiring a collection. You know, we got 80 years on this world. All right? Let's acquire something nice. Maybe it's just 4 or 5 nice pieces. All right? Something you can display in a display case or have a good rotation. This knife would last you the rest of your life if you used it. By the time you're about 80 years old and you died, it'd look like this. Okay? So go ahead and use your knives if you wish. All right? All right? But to use a knife like this, yeah, you're kind of wealthy. And the reason why is, let's say this is worth $300 now, but 20 years from now, this is going to be worth a lot more than $300. Okay? Because they don't make them anymore. All right, and these are guaranteed almost to go up in value. They really are. It's just, I've never seen an old handmade knife reduce in value. And everyone's like, oh, when laser etching, when machines come out, they make better, more exact knives. Yeah, they do. They really do. Okay, sure. Okay, here's one right here. Look how exact that knife is. How beautiful and exact that knife is. But this one's built better. It just feels better. It's stronger. It's built the old way. It really is. I mean, maybe it's not. It's got the high-tech stuff. There's some character to this. I can't even describe it. I really can't. Until you've actually held something with that much character and that much age and that much beauty, you just can't understand. You'll understand it. You'll get it. You'll get it. And if you want to carry something like that and use it, you'll get it. All right, you'll understand how you can have a trapper collection, right? Knives. I have a 3-dot 3-blade Case XX USA 1977, and it's a cool knife. Absolutely kick ass, dude. I agree. 3-dot. I have a 3-dot right here for you. That's a 4-dot, actually. Look at that sucker right there. Now, this particular Case XX, now check this out. Read the blade on this. Look at that. Tested XX razor's edge. I'm being very careful, too. Look at the polished edge on that. I don't know if you can see that. See how polished that edge is? I did not do that. This particular year, they actually, after they did the sharpening process, they threw it on a polishing wheel. One extra step. Is that expensive to do? Yes, it's one extra step. It's a complete belt change. It's a complete station developed or added to the manufacturing process to make this knife just one step better than maybe your standard trapper that they sold. Okay. Once you go on the Case tour, you'll see this kind of stuff. Everything costs money, and every process has a potential of damaging knives. So a polishing wheel can take that etch right off. Then it's junk. Oh shit, it's junk. It's junk, and then it's got to go back to the other process, re-stamped or just taken apart and redone. Okay. Let's see. I want to be careful handling that knife. That knife is real sharp. Here's an older one. Check this out. So Matthew Barnes, let's see. Matthew Barnes says, what the fuck does a grown man have a Barbie doll toy house for? Those are built by my mother. She's in her 80s or so. There is a couple over here, and there's one over there that actually has electricity. So and they have miniature, I'll show you a piece of furniture from it, just to give you an idea. This piece of furniture kind of represents the level that particular dollhouse is on. And if you go to my YouTube channel and search dollhouses, you can actually see the detail of that. So everything's miniature in the entire thing, and it's actually wired with electricity. It's got chandeliers, the whole bit. It's kind of cool. You should check it out. Absolutely. Matthew, don't be afraid to, talk, have an educated conversation, ask a question. If you're not curious or whatever, it's bizarre to me. It's bizarre. If I had if I had a grown-ass man in front of me, I'd be asking him some questions. I'd be like, damn, dude, how are you retired? Damn, dude, how do you afford to live in California? What's the military like? Hey, how do you get these nice knives? Why do you even collect those knives? Why do you have dollhouses behind you? Now, these dollhouses, I explained why. If money's your thing, yeah, my mom could make a living making those dollhouses because she's extremely talented. When people are talented, when you have something that other people want, if you can do things that other people cannot, they will pay you incredible amounts of money to do it. When people look at your work or what you do as, wow, and you get some sort of respect for that, there's people out there willing to pay for that. In order to do that, you have to work, you have to practice. You just can't do that. That house has, it's built just like a real house. It's got, slats, it's got everything. It's got roof shingles, the whole deal. That kind of stuff, it's, yeah. She's been offered an awful lot of money for those. And it's just like, Larry Savage says, thanks for talking to me, but I'm out. Hey, later, Larry. I really, really appreciate it. And send me an email if you, and I'll put you on my email list. And then when the knives do come out, yes, I always guarantee that I do have the best pricing. I don't do it as a job or a company or anything like that, but I'm more than willing to help you establish your collection. All right. And I have a lot of people that come back on a monthly basis, and that way they can look back and they can be happy with what they got. And they don't get ripped off, and it even happens to the best of us. Oh, that's a beautiful knife right there. It's just so beautiful. Let's take a break. What do we got? Like 25 minutes of solid talking. That is outstanding. All right. What time is it? 7:48. I have church here pretty soon. Yes, I go to church. I head to church for Bible study. I'm going to go to Bible study today at 9. Church starts at 10. So my church is it's an Asian American church. So a lot of people are married to Asians and whites, or Asians and Asians, and basically it's a Japanese American church. So they have a Japanese service, and then they have an American service. But it's put on. It was established by the local Japanese in Los Angeles. It's been around for 100 years this year. So it's a very old church, and we do some really great things. I think it's awesome. And I lived in Asia for 11 years. So, I told you guys I was going to show you one of the cooler knives. And a lot of folks goes, why do you keep going on? I mean, we've got a couple people watching. This is the reason why. The only way you get good at something is when you practice. I started a podcast. Boy, that is hard. Boy. It's better here because you can interact with people and get some questions going on or something. But holy Toledo. It's absolutely ridiculous. How, like when you're talking to a microphone, it's very, very difficult. And then you got to keep going. Like any blank, like that was somewhat entertaining, right? But when you're doing an audio cast, they can't see what you're doing at all. Very, very difficult. A lot more difficult than I thought. So I did it for like 10 minutes. I don't know. I think I sound like an idiot. My commercial was all right, but I was reading off a script. Stupid. It's just whatever. So, I could pull up my YouTube channel. Let's see what's going on with my channel here. See if it actually pulls up. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Wow. Yeah, it does. Wow. Yeah, it does. Hey. Wow. Yeah, it does. Hey. Wow. Yeah, it does. Sorry, I won't do that again. But all right. So Tap 42 says, been hitting the gym? Yes, I've been hitting the gym big time. Actually, no, I haven't. Joking. I do yoga. I do stretching. I eat healthy. And then I work on my house. So my work boots, which I don't have here, I do everything. I do. Yeah, and that's what I was trying to explain to Matthew here. You're going to meet people in your life, right? You're going to meet people in your life that they're always looking to somebody else to do stuff. They're always looking like, if there was a meteor shooting straight towards this planet and they needed someone to stop it, I would be calling, volunteering. I'd be like, dude, I can help with that shit. Do you understand? There's something I can do. I want to be involved. All right? Because I have some good ideas. I feel I have good ideas in a lot of areas. Is it confidence? Is it overconfidence? It can be, because stupid people don't know if they're stupid. And the only way you can really gauge yourself is by what you have, what you're doing. What have you done? Have you done some good work? You can say, I'm a good person. I do a lot of volunteer work. Okay, well, are you just getting rich, or are you actually helping people? I go to church. Okay, well, you go to church, but is it in your heart? Do you walk with God, but is your heart there? There's a lot of things that we do, or we say, or we tell stories about who we are. When I first joined the military, I told everybody that I had this great scholarship set up to play football. Well, I did get some scholarship offers, but I threw that shit out, you know, because I was a hippie and I wanted to go cross country and do some other things with my life. So it was, you need to look at what results you have in life. You know, a lot of people say to themselves, you know, I was so busy today. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so busy. Oh gosh, I can't even catch my breath. You know, so what did you do? You know, well, maybe you organized your t-shirts and folded them all, or maybe you finally did that extra load of laundry that's just been sitting in the corner, and or maybe you cleaned that closet out. These are not huge, busy things. These are called things that you should have done. Your collection, your everything should be completely organized. You should have a to-do list. You should have a calendar. You should have all these things in place. This is not I'm busy. These are good habits. You know, making your bed, getting up on time, combing your hair, brushing your teeth, eating the right food, not eating sugar early in the day. All these types of things. And if you don't, so is it overconfidence? I don't think things like that are. There are going to be people out there that have a lot of ideas and want to share them with other people because they feel that they can improve not only their life, but other people's lives. And the best thing you can do is have, like, what did you do? You know, I want to help people that, I mean, out here, the major thing is people do not have money to build. They don't have money for a home. They get scammed. I want to be able to give advice. I want to be able to help people. I didn't know anything about building a house. I get the blueprints and it started making sense. And I started realizing, working with all these different people, that yeah, there's certain jobs that require incredible skill, and I will help them and work with these individuals. But most things you can figure out yourself. And that professionals are just people that maybe just have too much confidence in that particular area. If you're a smart guy, you can pretty much figure out everything around you if you just take time and you don't sleep too much. I sleep about 3.5 hours a day. So I have plenty of time to do stuff. And I schedule everything, and it just kind of works. I don't know who said it, but you sleep too much. And if you need a lot of sleep to function, you're not going to be able to keep up with those that don't need a lot of sleep. You're just not going to be able to. I was in the military for 20 years. You got people that just need a lot of sleep. And those individuals just do not do very well. I know everybody, oh, get lots of sleep, your body recovers. My body recovers fine. You don't need sleep to recover. I'm not sore. I feel fantastic. You know, I'm almost 50 years old. Good habits, sitting up straight, you know, supporting the front of your mouth with your tongue. You know, you want a jawbone. All these things, these are, you look at something that's not pleasing to the eye, there's a bad habit behind it. Everything. And whether it's you frown too much or whatever, there's a bad habit behind it. And it's hey, we all got them. It's not a big deal, you know. But I don't know. Leanne Marsh says, "How big are your beautiful testicles?" They are average size, average. So they're doing wonderful. Thank you. I cannot believe this. I have a 1970s case, 6318 HP, and I want to restore. Should I ask Case to do it or try it myself? Absolutely not. Okay, you have a 1970s case. The first thing you do not want to do is over clean your knife. Over cleaning a knife. I will show you an example of an over cleaned knife. This is an over cleaned knife. This was a knife that was probably found in a rusted heap, and they took a buffing wheel to it. Notice how it looks completely effed up and polished and rounded. It's not even a hawkbill anymore. Okay, they could have restored it like I restore knives. And this knife was a completely rusted mess also. It was literally a rusted stick. And you want to do it as easy as possible. Now notice how I left a little bit of the pitting left, but under a microscope, that pitting is okay. But notice how I maintain the edge geometry, okay? Now, if I want to remove the rest of those pits with a buffing wheel, I will end up rounding the knife out and destroying what it is. You will never find a knife like this, right, coming out of some old guy's pocket. Oh, look, I found an old knife. No, you found an old knife that some eBayer got a hold of because he wants to put a shiny picture up. There are so many knives that have been destroyed on eBay. It just drives me up the wall. I will look at my regret roll right now to show you what happens when people over clean knives. If I can even find one. I usually, when I purchase one, I get so pissed off, I freaking throw it through out the wall. I mean, seriously. I don't have any because they annoy me so much. But you can go on to any eBay, search case knives. It used to be a real big problem. It used to be a really big problem with the elephant toes. You know, those really big knives. And I do have a few examples, but they're in my personal goods. Oh, it just drives me up an absolute wall. Do not overclean your knife. I have a video on how not to overclean your knife. The best way to clean your knife is soak it in mineral oil. Right here. You can get this mineral oil at any pharmaceutical store, pharmacy in the laxative section. $1. It'll last you the rest of your life. You don't need Ballistol. You don't need anything like that. You can drink this shit and you'll shit, but you won't die. And it's great. That's all you need. And you want to use a greenie weenie. We call them a greenie weenie or a magic eraser. I don't have all my stuff here because I am traveling. Currently, I'm building my house. But you can get into those pits and clean it, but you don't want to be polishing a knife. You want to be really nice. It's the bone that is broken in one side, maybe, oh, the third way. Do you still have a Bradley knife? I don't. I sold that Bradley knife. Yeah, someone just finally grabbed it from me. Bradley's actually made by Benchmade. Bradley is a Sebenza kind of knockoff, and a Sebenza. So if you like Bradley, why get Bradley? Get a Sebenza. Blade of the year. You know, why get the knockoff? Why get the Benchmade knockoff? Let's get the Sebenza. And you can find Sebenzas, the standard versions, on eBay for pretty good pricing. They're still pretty popular, though. I mean, it's the best knife on the planet, probably the best made production knife ever. This one has desert ironwood scales on it, which is just bitchin'. Hey, you know, share the broadcast, please. Share. If you guys want to donate or anything like that, that helps. It really does. Right now, I'm running on credit until I finish this knife room. Real light because it's titanium. You got phosphorus bushings in there. Oh, it's just beautiful. You got a detent. You've got a bearing in there. Oh, just a gorgeous knife. That's a Sebenza. Those I like. Bradley, hey, look, it's one of those knives that just didn't make me feel good. It's, you know, for another $100, you get the real thing. Get the real thing. You live once. And you could use this knife all day long. Now, the good thing about, well, Bradley's not so much identified as Benchmade. Now, if you want a knife to use, the Benchmade, there's Benchmade or Spyderco. I would actually say Benchmade, though, because Spyderco is more collectible. So you can pick up an old Spyderco or even purchase an older Spyderco now and find out, whoa, I got a knife that's pretty rare. My mom purchased this one for me. It's a Spyderco Wagner. I think I'm going to say that right. And these individuals have gone up in value. Even though my mom bought it at a knife store. This is the first knife that my mom purchased me. And it's what set my knife habit off. Spyderco makes some very limited editions. They're just amazing knives. They really, truly are. I would have to say they're pretty awesome. After Spyderco, and because some people just don't like the style, and I understand that. It's cool. It's cool. Benchmade. We'll do Benchmade. We're going to do some Benchmade for you. And if I have Benchmades, I have Benchmades. I have probably some hand-selected ones. If it's in my collection, there's a reason why. All right. So, yeah, if it's in my collection, there's a reason why I picked these particular Benchmades. Okay. Oh, I do not. I have other, these are just my traveling knives, How's that? Now, this is a Strider, probably the strongest knife you can purchase currently. This is a military issue. Yeah. He goes to some military functions. Yeah. We have access to just some incredible stuff. Just incredible. All right, so I'm going to show you 3 Benchmade knives that, in my opinion, cream of the crop. Probably the best ones they put out. All right. What do you use your knives for? I assume you have a tea party and butter your scones at chat. Actually, no. Currently, I'm carrying this one. And currently with this one and 2 X-Acto knives and my building belt, I am building my own house in Southern California. When I finish building this house, it'll be worth more than 7 figures. Yeah. I'm doing all my own tiling, roofing, framing, nails, design. I worked hand in hand with the architect. And recently just retired from the military. So this particular knife is the one that I have found works the best because it's small, really good for painting, and I can put it right in the corner when I paint, and I can get those corners nice and tight because fit and finish is everything, even in your own house. Chap. Tap says awesome. All right, so we're gonna go for this. All right, so I'm gonna tell you a little story. Why do I like Benchmade? Because Benchmade has something that's called the most kick-ass warranty on the face of the planet. This was a gripper, right? A Gorilla gripper, right? Everybody knows what those are. They're about 30, 40 bucks. They'll have a 440C steel blade in there. They're made in USA, kick-ass, maybe 50, 60 bucks. The tip broke. I sent it in. I said, hey, do you have a Tonto blade? Can you just throw a Tonto blade on there for me? U.S. Navy thanks you. Look what they put on there for me. They put on a 154 cm steel Tonto blade. They just turned a $30 knife that I got on base into a $200 knife. This blade is incredible. They said, sorry your knife broke. Thanks. Wow. Benchmade is incredible. That's the first story about Benchmade. The other thing I had for Benchmade is I did have the 2550, right, which is the automatic. Okay. I'm in California now, so I don't have that one anymore. That particular one, sent that one in. They sent in beautiful blade back. Sorry, it broke, sir. Here's the next one. Born says I can't have that one. Yeah, so Born says I'm beating my meat to you right now, and that's okay. But Kyle says you're a murderer, and I had to approve that comment. So I don't know why. This is so hilarious. People are so funny. The things we think. Now this one, This particular one, I forget the model number on this. Okay, this one is this has an ox. This is a 710. Now, why would I have this in my collection? Number one, I got this from a YouTuber. All right, and look at this D2 steel, which is a tool steel, which is extremely rare for Benchmade and or other companies to use in the past. They could start using it more, but look at the blade on that. Absolutely beautiful. Very rare knife. Another one that just increased in value, about double the price of what I purchased it for. Now, why? Why don't they make them all out of D2? Well, I know if I was a knife company, I'd probably storing knives that are made out of D2, you got to worry about them. Storing knives made out of ATS 34, CM 154, I'm not worried about them. They ain't going to rust. Throw them in wherever. Knives like this have, you got to keep an eye on them. You got to open them up, make sure they're oiled up. Yeah. Tap says, thanks for sharing your collection. Oh, cool. I got to take off here pretty soon. This one I won in a drawing, and Benchmade called me up. Everyone threw their business cards in the Benchmade ball, and they did a drawing, and I actually picked up this one. This one is the Sebert, the 275. This one was supposed to take the place of a fixed blade knife. Just incredible. This sucker is beefy and beautiful. Just beautiful. Very happy with this one. Great retention. Beautiful. Comes with a great system right there. You can even fold it back if you want. Bring it forward. Real nice. Real nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. The Ranger. Let's throw those suckers up there because I'm an organized dude, man. Organized. All right, so and those were our Case Hawkbills. Great knives. This one, I did a video on this one actually. If you go to the YouTube channel, I think it's the second video that's on there right now. This is a Klein. A lot of electricians know about this knife. I kind of customized it. This was the finish it came with, like that. Great knife. Just a great knife. Made in Japan. So, what do you think of ZT knives? Great knives. Yeah, good knives. I like the. Now, you guys want to see some of my collection? Check this out. Here we go. We're gonna kind of cartwheel around, and that kind of gives you an idea of my this is an idea of my traveling collection. These are kind of knives that make me feel good. You have a lot of older knives, a lot of custom knives here too. A lot of German knives. I love German knives. German knives are beautiful. They really are. They really snap. This is a 4-blade Congress made by Bulldog. And Bulldog's pretty cool because I got the 2 pit bulls fighting. And why everybody doesn't have one of these in the back pocket, I got no clue. I have no clue. That is just a dude, and you know it. If you're cutting tobacco all day, you need 2 knives. You need 2 blades because you're going to go through those. And this assures you that you don't have to walk back or at lunchtime sharpen your blade. Yeah, so you got a duplicate. Yeah, damn is right. Just beautiful. That's from the factory like that, man. They don't make knives like this no more, man. Half stops. Well, I don't have to worry about it coming back on my hand. Look at that. So I'll put my hand right there. Look at that. That's what a half stop's for. Flush and all. Look at that. All flush. When a knife like that makes you feel good, ooh, yeah. Now, I can get you a knife like that, but you're going to pay. If I'm going to be selecting these, if you want something to that level, yeah. That's why you need to know people. You ain't going to get lucky. If you're just your average collector, you're not going to get lucky and happen to just find a knife that is absolutely perfect like this. You're not. It took me going through hundreds of knives to find a knife that was manufactured to this level from this company, unfortunately. Then I got the military knives. I got some military knives over here. I got some videos on these. These are wonderful, wonderful selection. And we also have some pearl knives over here. Check this out. You take a pearl knife, right? Oh, what's this? Look at it. You got your toothpick like Victorinox. You think Victorinox thought of this first? This knife is over 120 years old. Has a little, oh man, what is that? There we go. See that? There it goes. That is tortoise shell. You can kind of see the coloration in it. Yeah. Got a spoon for your drugs. Yeah. Oh, check this out. You want to file your nails? Watch this. See this right here? Look at that beautiful thing right here. I'm going to flip it out like that. They don't make them like that, huh? That was a pretty popular way for them to do it. I'll show you why. I got a smaller one like that. So this little knife. So you got your little blades, right? You got two little blades in there. Listen to that snap. Listen to that thing. Here we go. They don't make stuff like that no more, man. That little blade. Now, I didn't over clean that. Don't over clean it. It's not rusting anymore. It's fine. Leave it alone. Just stop the rust. Clean the rust out of the pits. Get a magnifying glass. I'm a non-destructive tester, so I'm actually a professional talking about that. I used to get paid 6 figures for that advice. Yeah, unfortunately, in order to know a lot, you have to work for a company for a little bit to get an education. So yeah, pretty cool, huh? What was the name of that German knife? You know what? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tease you a little bit. You want to see how good that German company is? Oh, man, I'm telling you. And these knives, you can get them for like 50 bucks. If that. If that. I mean, nobody knows about this company. And they make these knives so much better than anything. Look at this one. I got this. This is just gorgeous. A lot of people don't know what this is. Mother of pearl. Look at the complexity of that knife. Let's see what's in there. I'm gonna put on my glasses because this is a small knife. Here we go. Man, it's you gotta have strong. I mean, the back springs on all these are so tight. I'm just not used to it. It breaks your fingernails. Look at that. Different than Victorinox. Oh, and look at that. If you want to do your nails, have that same nail file thing. This is called Bruckmann. The company is Bruckmann. I do have some videos on that. And boy, they have some beautiful knives. You want to see the master blade of this one? Now this particular one is a keen cutter. You will not be able to afford this knife. This knife is about 500 bucks. It's a keen cutter in absolutely beautiful condition. Okay, so that's like a $500 knife because it's an American one, keen cutter. But Bruckmann was that one that you just looked at, and I'll show you another Bruckmann. See if I can find it for you. That's another keen cutter. Where is it? Sorry, guys. Ah, here it is. Bruckmann was the only company that did a crocus. It's like a crocus polish. And this polish that they did, when you look at a stainless steel knife, the reflection is distorted. When you look at these knives, there is a non-distorted reflection. It is the shiniest that a knife has ever been. The level of Bruckmann. It's a German company that nobody really knows about. Those are non-distorted shiny blades. You see the difference? It's like a mirror. And that's Bruckmann. This knife's about 30 bucks. Yeah. Mother of pearl, nice and cool to the touch. But if somebody knows what it is, you know, they charge for it, unfortunately. So, hey, yes, that's about it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that. But Bruckmann is it's a secret company a lot of people don't know about. I also have videos on other knives that I recommend, like if you want a user, like you want a Camillus TL29. You know, this is the advice I can really give you, because people go out there and they buy these knives. You want a beefy knife? Get an old Camillus. Look at this sucker. You could get these readily for not very much. Double locking, made in USA. Half stops, serious master blade, razor sharp. Look at that, how flush and beautiful, no gaps, locked. Got to unlock it to, you know. You want to skin that deer or put peanut butter on your biscuits. Half stop and a lock. They don't even need a half stop on this. Why they put one? They put it there so just in case it comes back on your finger. Awesome. This knife is fully loaded. It's a fully loaded knife. And you can get these suckers for, you know, a good price also. Again, though, you got to know what you're looking at. Most people buy the wrong model. You would have seen interesting blade. We could go for a old Schrade, Delrin handles, and I'm going to show you a blade that has some interesting stuff about it. Let me see if I can show you. I'm having problems finding it. I feel like I'm blind. We're going to have to skip that. We'll have to skip that. I just bought a leftover 17 Focus ST. Do you still have yours, and how is it holding up? All right, I had to change out the clutch and the pressure plate, and that's because I have a bad habit of not going into neutral at stoplights. So that's my bust. That went out about 55,000 miles. Got the new clutch, pressure plate, cost me about 1,500 bucks through Ford. So they kind of hooked me up. Kind of. I just needed it done. Car's running great. I love it. I do nothing to it. I'm not modifying it unlike all the other cars I've had. It is wonderful. Wonderful. Highly, highly recommend it. I got a 2014 Catfish, so mine looks sweeter. Notice how I just knocked your new Focus that you just bought? It's because I'm an asshole. Jeez. No, honestly, you got the 2013, the 2014, then you have your body style. I prefer that style because it kind of does really stick out. Like when you see a 2014 driving towards you, you're like, whoa, what's that? Oh, it's a Focus. It's got that big freaking catfish mouth. It's a pretty sweet car. It's a little bit smaller, and I just love it. I love it. Very quick. Very quick, very quick. So yeah, check out Bruckmann. Bruckmann I recommend if you like some of the older knives for a good deal. Good deal. All right, well, I'm going to wrap up this chat. Thanks for hanging out. Might have gotten a little long-winded. I'm sorry if you guys hung out this long. I really appreciate that. I'm going to try to live broadcast, and we're going to go over some pretty cool stuff. I've got all kinds of knives, and I never got to show you what's in these boxes right here. And these are 3 knives that are around the $20 range, and I guarantee they have probably the most beautiful blades you'll ever see in your life, at least for under $100. Um, so I'll show you those tomorrow. If tomorrow's Monday. Tomorrow's Monday. So cool. Keep up the vids. Good work to see you. All right, cool. Hey, thanks for the interaction. I really appreciate it, and take care. I'm going to end this stream. Later.